lights go out now, and away they go. Good start by Jeff Peak from closest to the camera. Good start too from the car immediately behind him, number 4, Simon Ward-Cancel. So let's see what order they get themselves into as they head down to Clervaux for the first time. It's Jeff Peak, number 29, that's in the lead. It's Martin West in second place. And level pegging for third, Andrew Tate and Simon Ward-Cancel. That's a spin. No, it's not. It's a save. Well saved by 99, Ryan Garrett. I thought that had a big accident written all over it, but fortunately it wasn't to be. Out front though, Jeff Peak and 94 Martin West have a bit of a break already from Andrew Tate. They're going alongside one another, I think, as they head down towards Tower Corner for the first time. So then by the time they get there, they might be in a different order. So that's, yes, West through for the lead. So that's 2 different leaders so far. Let's keep a tally.
You know that gap they had, that's gone already. This was the story of yesterday. As soon as drivers pulled away, they'd be caught almost immediately. So the leaders heading into the Jim Clark S's with Martin West leading. He started third. Second is Jeff Peak, who started second. And then Andrew Tate is third, who started on pole. Then out side by side, heading to Croft. Andrew Tate down the inside of Jeff Peak. He couldn't quite make that work. Ward-Cancel is fourth. Fifth is Craig Land. Good start from him. He's perhaps not done quite as well this year as he would have liked. Then you've got Paul Clark, who is in this lead back after those problems yesterday. They come out of Sunny there and down into the complex for the first time, and is Jeff Peak going to try and get the lead back, but he couldn't quite make it work there as they turn their way then into the slower right-handed element. And I think the top 8 are those cars that we expected to be there with trying to hang on in 9th position, David Martin.
So back markers heading through the complex. A spin for number 19, though that is the Daniel Garrett's car. So the other of the Garretts having a moment there. Leaders go through to complete lap number 1 then, and they're spreading out down the straight. There's someone pulled off. That is on the exit of the complex as Craig Land makes a place there. He goes up the inside of Andrew Tate. Simon Ward-Cancel, beg your pardon. So he's in 4th place now. Ward-Cancel it is in 5th. Mark Burton in 6th. 2 leads there. Again, they've got a gap, haven't they? But we saw this a lap ago and it all of a sudden vanished. Jeff Peak, 29 in the lead. Martin West this time goes to the left-hand side of him. And down towards Tower they go. Will West be ahead by the time they get to Tower? Of course he will. And then it's Land up to 3rd now. So Tate back to 4th. And then Burton and Ward-Cancel swapped around as well, 5th and 6th. So quite a few position swaps down the back straight.
Craig Land is rapid today. He struggled a bit yesterday, more in the second half of the lead group, but he's up to 3rd, so this is looking much better for him. He's trying to chase now the top 2, and I think he's caught them, hasn't he? So that didn't last long again. There's Tate and Burton, and Simon Walker-Hansel's dropped to 6th. That's not in the game plan that Ben Powney was expecting, that he sent me, so that's not going yet to plan, but it's all fine at the moment, isn't it? They're in as long as you're in the lead group.
Tate has a good run on the number 2 car that time with Craig Land, and is just about side by side as he comes into a yellow flag zone. Not ideal really, so they'll all get themselves back into an order of sorts. That is because of the car that's pulled off on the way into the hairpin. Driver's out of that car and it's okay. They go past the green flag now on the apex of the hairpin. But what order do they come out in? Is it the same as the one they went in? Let's not worry about that too much at the minute as they go over the line to complete lap number 2 then. It's West leading by just over a 10th from Jeff P. Andrew Tate 3rd, Mark Burton 4th, Craig Land 5th and Simon Ward-Cancel in 6th position.
That's right, we'll let the officials sort that out, and 750 woke up very hot on driving standards for a yellow flag, so that will be sorted if there's something needed to be looked at. Jeff Peak is the leader and Martin West is following him. Throughout this race, the top 2 do seem to have this slight edge over the rest. There's Andrew Tate in 3rd, coming under pressure from Mark Burton, who's looking to move forward now. Craig Land has dropped to 5th after good early progress. And Burton round the outside at Tower, trying to get past championship leader Andrew Tate, and has made it. Then you've got Simon Walker-Hansel with them before a small gap to the battle between Cole Roussillard and Paul Clark. Jim Clark S is up next now. Craig Land has also passed Andrew Tate, and Simon Walker-Hansel would like to get in on this as well, but can't quite make it. So he's at the back of this 4-car battle for what is P3, which is headed by Mark Burton, who was the man on the move yesterday. Kind of was scuppered by a yellow flag on the last lap.
Indeed, but we've got the 2 for the lead, and we've got this 4-car battle for 3rd position, headed by Mark Burton, who won 3 times here in 2018, the year he won the championship. There you can see the leading cars going through. Roycenars and Clark, 7th and 8th, having their own little battle. Then Martin and Ryan Garrett rounding out the top 10. They've also paired off. So they're sticking in even numbers broadly during the course of this race so far. Past that stricken car again, no longer yellow flags at that part of the circuit because the caution board is now out to advise drivers. Instead, we have lost a nose section. Who's that? Did that belong to?
Craig Land, I think. So that's sitting in the middle of the road, which isn't particularly ideal. But yes, there he is then. So Craig Land, Locost is lighter, but perhaps not as aerodynamic as it was before. So Andrew Tate goes around the outside into Clairvaux to get himself into 4th place, as Craig Land's nose cone gets a battering from the competitors further behind.
Well, one can only conclude there's a little bit of a touch there that just loosened that.
And look at the back of Mark Burton's car. That's got a loose mudguard. I wonder if the two are related.
Possibly, Josh, possibly. Right, 9 minutes to go in this race, and there is Jeff Peak, yesterday's winner. We wondered if we might get another triple winner in Locost here at Croft. Well, at the moment, that's possibly on, isn't it? With Jeff Peak leading once again.
Interesting to note, Mark Burton set the fastest lap, going 4/10 of a second, under the lap record, 1 minute 41.74.
Okay, so that's a really good pace. Still this nose cone in the middle of the road on the start and finish straight, and yellow flags waved by the marshals just to let drivers know that it is there. I think there's a marshal heading over looking as if he might be able to try and make a bid to recover it at some point, but do we need a gap in the traffic to do so?
Craig Land's gone off, so I wonder if it's affecting the handling of his car as well. He had an off there for at Sunny. So he's dropped well away from the lead group that reappear into the complex, and Mark Burton's pretty much caught the top two now thanks to this lap record setting pace. There's Tate, who's 4th now, ahead of Walker Hansel, and they turn their way into the hairpin. Shortly we're going to have 3 cars in the lead scrap. This is the end of lap 4, what should be a 9-lap race.
Yeah, so past that yellow flag they go. There's a green flag then at the end of the pit lane, so it's basically sort of most of the length of the straight that they are unable to overtake. Leaders, I can tell you, are down at Clairvaux Corner and Hawthorns, and they're still together.
We've had a spin at the complex with 58 Bradley Horsnell.
Okay, so that's one a bit further back down the order, but the leaders are making their way out of the chicane. Here they are, and this time Mark Burton has latched himself onto them, hasn't he? Because he was about 6/10 behind at the start of the lap, but he's closed it up now and he's alongside Martin West there as they head down towards Tower Corner. He's on the outside line for the right-hander, but unable to make it through, possibly hampered by that slight aero deficiency now on the back of the car there with the mud guard flapping, the wheel archer flapping. Below us, the brave marshal has found a gap in the traffic and is run to pick up the nose cone, so well done to him. Many thanks to all the marshals here at Croft this weekend for their sterling service. And there is that Land's car that's now pulled off.
It is, so he stopped down the end of the tower under the car, was overheating possibly thanks to the damage. So that means he'll be starting from the back of the grid for the race later on as well today. So after a really strong start to his race, it's all gone a bit wrong. Yeah, runner-up in the championship last year to Murray Shepherd, of course. Murray, who took in the first 2 rounds of the season, but he's doing a lot of historic racing as well this year. And anyway, back to the cars that are on the grid. Mark Burton in 3rd place is right with the top 2. Still Jeff Peak ahead and Martin West behind. We've not had the frantic lead changing that we had yesterday. Not yet, anyway. And we will have yellow flags, of course, down the back straight this time. So a few of the overtaking opportunities have been hampered somewhat so far, but I suspect it'll just be the one lap so everybody knows where Craig Land's car is. It's off the circuit, and Craig is just getting behind the marshal, getting behind the barriers with the marshals at the moment.
The yellow flag zone takes in the braking area for Tower. So that will scupper any overtaking opportunities at that part of the circuit. We are working lap 6.
Before they have got there, Mark Burton's got 2nd away from Martin West, and Andrew Tate and Simon Walker Hansel are chasing them, the 2 championship leaders, trying to make it 5 for the lead. Is it green flags into Tower? It is, and Mark Burton is challenging. Should he really be doing that? Hard to tell, but he was. He was trying to get ahead of Jeff Peak. He couldn't make it work. This is lap 6 then, so we'll be 2/3 of the way into this race. They turn their way into the Jim Clark S's, and Burton is quick, isn't he, this weekend? He was quickest in Friday in testing. Qualifying didn't go to plan, but it's going well in the races, and with the rear left mudguard trying to make a bid for freedom. He's challenging Jeff Peak through Sunny in into Sunny out. You'd think it won't be long before there's a lead change here, Ian.
possibly not. The way Mark Burton has gone in this race, he's really pushed on. They're coming down to the complex again, into our view. Burton there in second, I should say. West third. And really it's these 5 cars now in contention for the lead. Paul Clark is in 6th place rather on his own at the moment, but I don't think he's going to come into contention. He's escaped from Carl Roy Sinars, and then it's Ryan Garrett, David Martin and Sean Brave has now come into the top 10 as well. He finished 8th yesterday. So over the line they come to complete lap number 6. There's 4 minutes and 40 seconds, so they get 3 more laps out of this one. And they're heading down the start-finish straight towards Clervaux. Peak it is that leads by 49.100, so just about half a second at the moment, but really is now 5 cars for the lead. And we're at this part of the circuit where Mark Burton has been passed on previous laps.
One of them's gone off, I think, of that lead group. So who's not there? Well, Peak is, Burton is, West is, and Tate is. So Simon Walker-Hansel, the race winner from Donington Park, has gone off, I think, through Hawthorne.
And side by side for the lead down towards Tower Corner, it's Mark Burton on the inside line, and we've got no yellow flags there this time, so he's able to make the move, and he does make the move, and he goes through into the lead with 4 minutes to go, but it was quite wide on the exit of the corner, so immediately Jeff Peak is able to fight back. They're heading through the fast left-right at the Jim Clark Hesse. Now Burton just about squeezes ahead, though, as he does so. So it's Burton, Peak, and then it's West and Tate in the 4 surviving car. Did Walker-Hansel get going again after that off?
Not sure. We'll check that at the end of the lap. I think he might have done, though. The leaders are going to have traffic. There's 1 car to lap, which hopefully won't be too much of a problem. I think Matt Rowe had an incident yesterday at Sunny, but here come the leaders, and Peak is trying to get alongside Burton here, but instead he loses one to the championship leader Andrew Tate. So Andrew Tate's up to 3rd. So yesterday's winner Jeff Peak might lose another here because Martin West is on his outside line, which will give him the inside for the hairpin, and he's up the inside. He locks up a little bit, and the 2 of them get quite close to one another, a bit sideways on the exit too, which is going to allow the top 2 to get away. They're still side by side.
Slow car, one of the back markers from Mark Rowe, I think that is, being swallowed up by Paul Clark et al. The leaders, though, are heading down the straight towards Tower Corner once again, with 3 minutes of the race left to go.
Walker-Hansel's got damage to the front left corner of his car, so he's dropping down the order with damage to the car. So Ben Powney, he's not a commentator, but he's put a real commentator's curse on Simon Walker-Hansel after tipping him for this race.
He came across the line in 9th position, didn't he, after that off at Hawthorne a lap ago. Here comes Tate alongside Mark Burton. He's going to be on the outside line for Tower. It doesn't matter, though, because he's already ahead before they arrive at the braking area. Jeff Peak might try and get down the inside as well. He can't quite do it. So it's Tate now, the championship leader, the driver that started on pole position, and the winner of the first round of the season that's back into the lead of the race. He didn't win on the road at Donington, that went to Simon Walker-Hansel, but there was a penalty, and now Burton is fighting back through. So Burton, through the very fast Jim Clark Hesse, sweeps back ahead. That's a brave move. Now to the right-hand kink at Barkhoff, just over a lap to go at the end of this one, Josh, and I still don't know who's going to win.
Oh, Jeff Peak was very close to clipping the back of Andrew Tate's car. It didn't happen for him, though. We've got 1 lap to go at the end of this one. Tower Bend is certainly the easiest place to make a move, but as we've just seen there are other places where it is possible, potentially into the complex too, and Andrew Tate's tried to go around the outside. It's a puncher for Simon Walker-Hansel, so he's going to be out of this race and starting from the back of the race later on, but for the lead it's Burton, who has held on ahead of Tate, ahead of Peak, and Martin West has caught the 3 of them, so it's 4 for the leader. He'll take a pretty defensive line, the first 3 of them, into the left-hander at the hairpin. And the leaders then come up across the line to start their final lap of the race. They see the last lap boards, they know it's the last lap. There's no yellows today down to Tower, which you think is going to be the favoured place for Mark Burton to come under threat, and the closest car behind him currently is Andrew Tate.
Through Clervaux and Hawthorne then, so can Andrew Tate make the most of this? Is he wise to this? Is the opportunity, possibly the best overtaking opportunity on the lap in these cars, is coming up? He's about 3 car lengths behind as they come off the chicane, but he's getting closer all the time. He's right in the toe now. He's picking it up. He's heading already to the outside line, which worked a lap ago. Jeff Peak to the inside line as well. They're going to go 3 wide almost into the corner. This time Burton manages to try and stay alongside Tate, but no, Tate's got his nose ahead on the exit, but Burton, of course, got him back through the Jim Clark S's Alapago. Can he try and brave it out again through this fast section of the circuit? And the answer to that question is yes, because they are still alongside. Burton, number 26, Tate, number 42, as they head through Barcroft now, and they're still absolutely together, but Burton now noses ahead, the door left open on the inside for Jeff Peake to get ahead of Andrew Tate, but he couldn't quite do it.
They come very close to banging wheels through that section, and Tate is almost pushing Mark Burton out of Sunny and coming down to the complex. There's another chance to make a move here, and on the outside line is Tate. He's going to brake late here to try and come right round the outside, and Jeff Peake's on the inside of both of them as they almost bang wheels again. Mark Burton is in front, Peake sideways. There's one corner to go, but Mark Burton's starting to bridge the gap to the other two quite possibly.
Certainly is. So turning their way through the final corner, it's the 26 car from Mark Burton, triple winner here 3 years ago, that's ahead, but Martin West might pick up a place late at the end here because he's alongside Andrew Tate, who led at Tower Corner, and is he going to be third or fourth over the line? Mark Burton gets the win, his first win in Locost in a while. He's done it by 0.3 of a second over Jeff Peake in second place. Just waiting for our screen to update to say who was third and who was fourth. It was Andrew Tate that was credited with third by just 3/100ths of a second over Martin West, who made that late bid for the position.
Well, another fantastic bit of action there from the Low-Cost Championship, Demon Tweeks Yokohama Low-Cost Championship. I counted close to 10 changes for the lead there. Mark Burton coming out on top. P2 yesterday, race win today. Tell us about how that one went.
Yeah, that was a tough race. There was a few quick cars, especially Jeff Peake, trying to, at the front, trying to win. Jeff's engine's very strong, and this is all engine circuit here, so trying to outpace him is difficult, which I found out yesterday, but I sort of learnt a few lessons from yesterday, and I tried to apply it today.
Yeah, well, it seemed to do you quite well, didn't it? We were watching from our position here, and we could see there was lots of slipstreaming going on. Our director said it's almost like a cycling race with the amount of slipstream overtakes that were going on. Some changes in the setup between yesterday and today, or is it just the temperature that's come to you?
No changes overnight. The temperature, I think, is fairly similar. I had the pace yesterday to win that race, but yellow flags caught me out on the last lap going into Tower, so I think it was much the same today, to be honest. The lap times are about the same, just maybe a bit more lucky today.
Okay, well, we all need a dose of luck from time to time, but congratulations. Allow me to bestow this upon you for your race win. One more race to go today.
Yeah, we've only got about an hour. These are fickle little cars, so they need quite a lot of work, so I'm going to be busy for the next hour to get it ready, but we'll be there.
Okay, good luck, and we'll hopefully again see you later today.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Cheers. Mark Burton, your first race of the day, second race of the weekend, Low-Cost Demon Tweeks Yokohama race winner.